And we are on the air. Adrian, welcome.
It's good to be here, Mark. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm super stoked because you have got a business that I definitely believe the members of Brand DIY can learn from, because you are in a situation that all of us have been in. And you're doing the Lord's work here, Adrian, because you're helping all of us out. I just want to start by saying that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you looked me up a little while ago, and we sat down, and I was super impressed by your business. Tell me about your business in case folks don't know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So hello, fellow DIYers. I am Adrian Curiel. I'm the founder and CEO of Wick Sports. We make modern candles for sports fans. And what was so funny, we're pandemic born. And, one day I was looking at the coffee table. My wife had a candle and it just said 29 Pelican. And I looked at it and I couldn't help but going, 29 Pelican, ready, set. And I just started thinking football and sports. And immediately I was just like, I wonder if someone's doing it already, had put a modern, West Elm spin to sports candles, and I did my research and nothing. And I was like, you know what? We need to create the hottest thing in sports, candles. And that kind of propelled us into creating modern candles for sports fans.
Yeah.
And there's probably about 10 months we've been doing this, and we've sold candles to the Dallas Cowboys, the Tennessee Titans, various NFL teams. We've done a lot of direct to consumer, but we're shifting more to direct to fan base. And with collegiate licensing, some pro licensing, and we're even like evolving the category to we're focused more like a sports decor company, focused on like just kind of like our mission is to elevate team spirit, and we do that with premium ingredients and distinct fragrance, sophisticated design, all to use the power of smell to bring home the game. So yeah,
I like the idea. I think it's a great idea. Now, some of these candles, when you go to Wick Sports, there's some really cool candles in there. But what really catches you is the name of the candles. Tell me about some of the names of the candles.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of them you'll see is Bulpin. And we collaborated with Chicago Cubs pitcher Rowan Wick for Wick Wednesdays. And we created a fragrance that, hinted at Wrigley Field and what it's like to be in the bullpen. And this is just one of them. So they're all inspired by various touch points within sports. And, even like our golf line, tee time and 19th hole, they have a very fairways, sand trap, outdoorsy fragrance. Yeah, we just, found really, unique moments in sports that we can bring to life through smell, and work with a perfumer to help us, zero in our fragrances and, put them, package them, create them, elevate them all in the form of a candle. So, yeah.
Now, what does Bulpin smell like?
Yeah, Bulpin smells, it's a blend of like rosemary, sage, a little bit of, we call it outfield mahogany, and leather moss. So, definitely it's trying to blend this.
Outfield mahogany. That sounds like an outhouse. Where are you? What do you got? What do you got out there? It's the outfield mahogany. Oh yeah. Very nice.
Say that. And just removing smoke and mirrors, a lot of it is trying to bridge that gap between sports messaging and and actual notes that smell good that a baseball player would be into. So it's that it's early days in marrying that. Yeah.
Well, I think hats off. You know what? You found a segment and you got it tight. Not only that, but you got a segment where there's no competition. And I believe the reason there's no competition in that segment is for a very, very simple reason we're going to go into in a second.
Right.
However, that doesn't mean that that segment isn't lucrative. And if you crack the code, they're going to be yours.
Right.
So, and you'll be the first one in, and you'll have the secret, and boom, you'll own it. So now you and I had a conversation, and you said, you know, I'm not selling as many of these things as I should. And so we talked about the names of the candles named Bulpin, and the target audience is guys who are gonna, you know, deck out their man cave in all this sort of like their favorite team gear or their golf gear, and then, you know, have some candles, and the other guys are going to come in and their girlfriends, and they'll look and they'll go, ah, that's really cool, and then they go, oh, it smells really nice too. Right. So, you know, the dudes will be okay because it's got a good name. It's not like he didn't just order something from Bed Bath and Beyond, and guys are going to go, what the, you know? Right. Okay, so that's great. However, you and I ran into a fundamental problem.
Yes,
dudes don't buy candles.
Dudes do not buy candles. There's a reason
don't buy candles.
why there is, you know, plus 80% of all candle purchases are made by not guys, by ladies. And there is, again, if you can even just push that needle 1%, we're
you're done,
happy, right? But yeah, it is a big challenge because, I mean, guys will, like, they don't know what sage smells like, right?
They don't know what sage looks like, man.
They can't craft that, you know, and you almost like need to try to give them like, oh, it smells like Torrey Pines, you know, for golf. Oh, cool. And they can, you know, develop that, that idea in their head of that connection of smell and product. But that is like, that is so segmented of how you do it. And it's just, it's such a challenge.
Well, you know what? The one thing you don't want to do is educate people, because if you have to educate them on something, if you have to like teach them why something is good, you've lost, because you're not Procter and Gamble, man. Right. You don't have the money or the time to bang your head against the wall that long.
Right.
However, what I love about your challenge is that there is a sneaky way into this. And I believe the sneaky way into this is that boys like girls and girls like boys together, but they have funky, weird things that they hate about each other.
Right.
And if a dude loves or has a man cave, let's say it's all about golf. He has a man cave all about golf, and one of your candles on the label says, you know, tea time, or the second green, or, you know, fairway or something, and you go, that's weird. Does that smell like grass? I don't know. But it doesn't. It smells really nice.
Right.
Now the trick is girls who are trying to get with guys, or trying to actually clean a guy's act up, because he's got this man cave with the golf clubs laying around, probably smells like sweat socks. And she's like, I love this guy, but his place smells like ass, man. And I gotta fix that. However, he will not. Right. If he puts a Bed Bath & Beyond candle in there, all of his friends are gonna laugh, and then he's gonna hate me, and he's gonna hang twice as many sweat socks up just to compensate. It's guy-girl psychology, right? It's weird. However, if I can get a candle that smells real nice, and the guys will love it, they'll go, oh, what smells? It smells kind of nice in here. And they go, it's the 14th hole or something like that. And they love it, because it's the guy was smart enough to get a guy candle, except he didn't really get it. The girl got it.
Right.
And the other guys come in and they see the label, and they love the smell, and they love the name, because it doesn't freak them out as guys. It doesn't make them look like they're shopping at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Right.
So I think that there's an incredibly strong piece of psychology that you got to tap. And I think all it is making it super clear on your website that this is a site for girls who like guys, or this is a site for people who love people who have man caves, or, you know, 80-inch TVs and popcorn laying on the floor and smells like socks, and you want to do something real nice, but you know they're not the candle type people. So it's candles for people who aren't candle people because they're afraid it makes them look a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
They can't have something like from Gwyneth Paltrow standing around.
Right.
So yeah. So, and I think that is a huge audience, because one of the oldest cliches in the book, men, what is it they say? Men lose women because they marry a woman thinking that she's never going to change, and she does. Women leave men because she thinks that she can change them, and she can't. Because so men always stay the same, and women evolve. Right. And so you take that into consideration, and you go, all right, this woman loves this guy. His Tennessee Titans football den smells like sweat socks. She wants to do him a favor. She knows he's never going to change, but she has to make it tolerable. Right. And then suddenly you create this sisterhood, and you go, does your guy, you know, is your guy like this? Oh my God, yes. You know, I clean up, and then the socks are left in there, and the cleats are still full of turf, and I hate this. And you go, you can do something, and he will love you for it. He'll think you're the best if you get him tea time or 14th fairway or whatever it is. And he will be able to brag to his friends, and his golf den won't smell like a golf den. And so you'll look like a rock star.
So I'll even, so yes. So that, you know, since our last conversation, we had some deals in the works, where we were partnering with a pro athletes. His line goes live next month, but he is his audience is 90% like females, like his huge audience, little under 1 million followers across his platforms. Wow. Primarily all ladies. And he's a magnet. And what we're doing is trying to speak to test this. You know, I remember like it was yesterday when you talked about like we're 5 degrees off.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Just a little bit, right? And so we are we're reframing our approach, as opposed to what we did for like what we're doing like with, you know, Rowan, that it's, you know, it's baseball candles, like that world, and more so of, you know, how this athlete, you know, rests and recovers. It has more of a gentle touch to it that, you know, is trying to bridge the gap between the lady fan and then the male fan, but use that, you know, that female audience as a gateway into the possibilities of what we can do. So that is, you nailed it. We're trying, and that goes live the beginning of March, the second week of March. So look for that. You'll
think about this. You and I had this conversation about Old Spice, and Old Spice. Right. You're too young to know this, but all the girls in my generation back in the 1920s, all the girls loved guys who wore Old Spice, and they still do. And the reason they love the guys who wear Old Spice is because their dads used to wear Old Spice. And girls love guys who smell, even though they'll never admit to it, but who smells a little bit of when they were a little girl and their daddy was the top dude, could do no wrong. Right. And they love that sort of subtle reminder of, you know, it was a simpler time. It was a nicer time, and my daddy took care of me. And so dudes that wear Old Spice can conjure that. You know, smell and the olfactory senses and the brain is a complicated thing, but that is why Old Spice works. Now, fast forward to those amazing Old Spice commercials, you know, that were on Super Bowl. They had the athlete, the guy who was sitting on the horse, and he was the fast talker with all the scenery changes. Amazing ad, but the line is Wick Sports. The line is the man that you wish smell like get your man to smell like the, you know, the man you wish he was, or something like that. The whole idea that I'm the dude you want, but at least you can get your dude to smell like me. You know, you can't have me, but you can have a guy who smells like me, which is a little bit closer. And, you know, women buy this stuff for guys, and guys buy it because they want women to love them. So that's why Old Spice is super successful. So if you, on the same note, can get a pro athlete who draws women like a magnet and go, if you want your dude's place to smell nice, like my place,
yeah,
this is what they burn. But you know what? It's our secret, because don't tell him that it smells nice, because his friends will never let him live it down.
That's good. Yeah.
Now I have a 17-year-old kid. I've got a 17-year-old boy, and he plays baseball crazy, and he's got a girlfriend. And if she bought him a candle that was, French vanilla or something like that, he'd go, oh, Jesus. But if she bought him one that was called Bulpin, he would show it off to all of his friends. And he's 17, So it's a really fragile thing, the sort of the dude ego, because you can't be seen as having French vanilla in your bedroom. But Bulpin, even though it smells like French vanilla, is cool.
Yeah. So some feedback that we got with one of our athletes that we worked with is that he went back, got heckled from all of his buddies, and then after the heckling stopped, it was okay, cool, but like, where do I get one of those candles?
Yeah.
It was this, true, layers of, of once no one's looking, but you realize, well, I still need it and I still want one because, for obvious reasons. And it was so interesting because, we ran like a big survey. I think this is, since we last chatted, it was a Google form that we sent out to a bunch of people. And what we realized was that 92% of people see candles as a value. It's not stuff. Like it's a thing that they like consistently. And I think it was at 61% of people usually buy 3 candles per quarter in the year. So it's 12 recurring purchases that you almost like could kind of map out in that value, just because trying to keep, for your own reasons, have your home smell a certain way, but it's like men won't tell you.
You froze up on me.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, now you're back. You just did a Max Headroom thing where you talked real fast and then you quit on me there for a second. So go ahead.
Yeah, it was just that. But men won't tell you that.
No,
they won't tell you all of these things. It's like, it's not until you get them kind of in that, safe place that, that guy combo and be like, candles though?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's this, this really unique layer in it. It's more of like cooler talk. When it's okay to talk about it in this weird, funny way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another thing that you just touched on right there. Somebody buys 12 candles a year. A guy buys 1 candle or no candles. His girlfriend puts that candle in the man cave because she wants it to smell nice, but he'll never buy another one. So what does she do? She says, you know what? I love him so much that I'm going to get a subscription to Wick Sports. Yeah. And every quarter or every month or every whatever, he's going to get another candle. Now, I saw this thing, this lady I used to know, who I worked with. She went on Facebook, and my husband, he got me the best something gift. It's a bouquet of flowers every day for a year. And I'm like, Jesus, that's
a lot of flowers.
That's freaky. What, did somebody die? But she loved it. And they don't have to be big bouquets. I guess just little ones, just stick them together. I don't know what. Right. But beyond me, I don't get it. But with the candle, you go, okay, every quarter, my dude's going to get another candle. And they're all going to be football themed. And they can smell like French vanilla, sage, rosemary. He doesn't care.
Right.
But every quarter, he's going to get a new candle. He's going to be in his cave. And the dudes are going to come by and go, locker room, awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
And and it'll smell like
Yes.
French vanilla. And then
Yes.
the next
Yes.
one is, you know, third down and it smells like French vanilla again. And then it'll be, you know, old helmet and it'll smell like French vanilla.
Yeah.
But the dudes will love it because it's funny and you can
Tasteful. It looks
taste,
cool.
it looks cool and it's something for them to have a laugh at, and it
Yeah.
smells good. And the lady is happy because the football room doesn't smell like a football room.
Exactly. So that is definitely, there's a lot of those, um, like that subscription model. We want to own the birthday candle as well, like for the dude. And there's all these little touch points. I think for us, it's like, you know, we're a small team, and to try to like right now we're going after like collegiate licensing.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing, we have partnerships with like 2 gifting companies and like 2 other sports merchandising companies, things like that. But we definitely see, once we get some of these licenses for collegiate, for like in the collegiate space, for a lot of like collegiate teams, we definitely see it as a big opportunity to really kind of like double down and do like that subscription model. And almost like, because what's interesting about our market is that, you know, we're sports. It's where we really want to focus all encompassing, and we almost can kind of like theme it out the year based off the calendar year for sports. So, you know, it's football, then baseball, then basketball, then hockey. Like we can kind of really have fun with it, where you can, you know, get a, you know, sports calendar, you know, set, or, you know, a sports specific set or what have you. I mean, there's so many options.
Now hold on a minute. You just hit on another super important point. You got too many opportunities. I was just working with a gentleman who imports African goods into Canada. And so he's South African. So he's got the African mentality, he's got the Canadian mentality. So he stands somewhere in between, and he gets that if he just brings stuff in, they'll just disappear. But if he brings them in and he turns them into something neat, like what he's got right now is a tonic water from South Africa. And so I told him, we got to take that tonic water and we turn it into the African G&T, gin and tonic. And then suddenly, when it's the African G&T, suddenly it's out of Africa. It's biplanes, it's flamingos, it's guys shooting elephants, it's safaris, it's all those things, you know, wearing the riding pants and it's all those things from like Ernest Hemingway. And so I said, what you got to do, you got to take that one thing, the African G&T that you've just invented, and then you've got to build a world around it. So what does it look like? Does it have a special cup? Does it have a special coaster? Are there banners? Is there a special bartender who mixes versions of the African G&T? Is there a promotion? You can't send people to Africa, but maybe you can send them somewhere. I came up with, out of that one drink, 20 opportunities that could work in a bar, and then 20 more that could work in a grocery store or liquor store. So back to you. You work with collegiate sports. This is dudes who are dating girls. They're not married yet. And they're alum.
We're not focused on the current student. We're focusing on the alumni.
On the fans.
We're focused on like the allegiance that,
gotcha.
You know,
okay.
People, if you go to if you support Notre Dame and you live wherever, that's your
right.
I do it.
Gotcha. Okay. So with that, you go and you sit down with the guys who market tickets for Notre Dame, and you say, what can I do to make these candles popular? I've got an idea right away. So lady wants to get a couple of tickets for her husband to Notre Dame games. You get a special box, special birthday box, Valentine's box, whatever, and you put a little slot in there for 2 tickets, or for 6 or 8 or 10 tickets, and a candle, you know, and it's called third down, first down, or something like that. Right. And that is a way that she can package it with tickets. He's going to think that she's amazing, and it's a funny candle, you know, first down, and it smells like French vanilla. So she's happy, but you've created the idea with Notre Dame, and they might say, you know what? No, we're never going to do that. But you know what we would do is a bag, or we would do a special, I don't know what, tailgate thing, or we will do a, they'll give you ideas, but it would be good to stay tightly focused. Just say, okay, collegiate fans, how do I get really good at collegiate fans? The goal is to get every dude who is a fan of Notre Dame or whatever college to get one of these candles every month or every quarter, and then go to them and say, how do I do this? It's aimed at women who are going to give it to guys. What do we do? And let them go to town. They know their audience. Let them come up with the ideas for you. They will. Bring them one idea so they know where you're going. Like, I want to package it up for ladies who are going to give it to guys, because the ladies want the guy's place room to smell nice, but at the same time they want him to feel like it's cool.
Right.
And they'll give you ideas.
Yeah, there's something cool about that. We like one of our candles on the site right now is called Stadium Suite, and that's our take on what we think that Stadium Suite in Allegiant Stadium, it's a new stadium in Vegas for the Raiders, and these stadium suites just look like the coolest thing in the world. And we were like, what does that stadium suite smell like? And then we just kind of, ripped it
Remember
on
when
it.
you and I talked about this?
Yep.
What did I think that stadium suite smelled like? I had a very quick answer.
Popcorn?
Popcorn and old guys wearing really shitty cologne.
Yeah, that's right.
The guys who wear cufflinks and stuff and wear too much cologne, and they think it's really cool. I said popcorn and old guys wearing shitty cologne. And so, like, you don't want it to smell like that. But so you got a fundamental block right there. But if you get around that, that it's a secret to the ladies to get a candle into your guy's room so he doesn't smell so awful, and he'll like it because it's fun and it's sports, you win all day long. Because no other candle can get into a guy's cave. So you got the secret code. You just got to find out the right person to bring that candle in, and that's the lady.
Exactly. So we're underway.
I think you've got an awesome idea, and I think like just 5-degree ooch it one way or the other, and you're in.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. That's all the time we got for today. So I want you to stay in touch, and I want to hear how it goes. And let the people drop everybody on Brand DIY a line. Just drop them the odd update on what you're doing, because I'd love to hear about it. I think you've got an awesome brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely will. I appreciate that. And this is fun, Mark. Thanks for giving me an opportunity.
No, not at all. Talk to you soon, Adrian.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.